In 2009, Activision opened a development studio in the San Francisco Bay Area called Sledgehammer Games. The first two hires of the studio were veterans of Electronic Arts Redwood Shores Studio, Dead Space executive producer Glenn Schofield, and development director Michael Condrey.
We had just finished making another game and wanted to had the opportunity to create a studio for Activision in their independent studio model that had our own culture. We could hire our own people. We could build it in the way that we wanted, but still have the comfort and security of the biggest publisher in the industry. And that sounded really good. And then when they mentioned that, hey, how about working on the Call of Duty franchise? Well, you know, we were there.
With the heavy task at hand of helping to develop the next title in the Call of Duty franchise, it was clear that Sledgehammer Games would quickly need to build up a deep well of talent. As longtime veterans of the game industry, they had access to many skilled game developers they had worked with in previous studios and on other games. The result of this was a studio formed around the ideals of very skilled people working in a close-knit, family-style setting.
And I think one of the early decisions we made that I think really helped define the future of Sledgehammer was a commitment to bringing in very senior people with a sort of a soft skill personality that would fit well in an organization, right? That would bring people able to deliver excellence in the software, but also personality that would be great to work with, right? So we have that culture where everybody on the floor does feel like a family, right? We don't have, you know, that saying, you know, one rotten apple. I think in software that happens, right? There's a ton of stress, a ton of hours. We're here all the time pushing really hard on a great piece of software. That's universal in an industry. And at times the stress of that starts to fracture teams. So it was important from the beginning that we had a senior team that could do really fantastic work and also just worked really well together.
And I got to tell you, I've never had a better group, and I think the part of it is that we were able to hire from scratch as opposed to inheriting part of a team. We're inheriting. But yeah, we got a lot of people that worked with us on some award-winning games.
Sledgehammer's first title was intended to be an entirely new style of game set in the Call of Duty franchise, a third-person action-adventure title. But as the structure of Activision's internal studios shifted, it was clear that the upcoming Modern Warfare 3 would need additional support in order to achieve the success that is expected of the series. The team at Sledgehammer Games was all too eager to answer that call.
Yeah, we came on board to make a third-person action-adventure game, and in the Call of Duty franchise, and I don't know, we're working on about 6 months.
Yeah, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
It was pretty exciting. I mean, the idea of sort of global appeal of Call of Duty meets sort of the third-person genre for the first time. And there are a lot of fans out there who really enjoy games like Uncharted, right? So you can imagine that genre meets a world-class franchise. Yeah, I think we had about 8 months on that. We had a prototype together that was pretty compelling and
looked really good.
Looked really good. And then, you know, the opportunity to work on the biggest thing in the industry with a developer in Infinity Ward that's demonstrated that they know how to do exceptional software was just an opportunity. There's a lot of people on the team who've worked on Call of Duty before, first-person shooters before, so there was a lot of built-in knowledge about the first-person shooter genre and a lot of passionate gamers. I mean, there's guys on the floor that are on their 10th Prestige on Black Ops, right? Some really, so it was a nice meeting of, nice marriage of experience in the genre and sort of the fan desire to work on something all play.
It was pretty easy to steer the boat after we kind of, the studio devoted on, you know, do you want to work on this game? And once we all agreed to it, we just went in that direction.
I think for Sledgehammer, we focus a lot on storytelling and mood and atmosphere. A lot of us worked on Dead Space, the original Dead Space, and that was a real testament to that philosophy of just trying to really create a world and create a space. And I think that's what the Call of Duty franchise has done so well. It's just an immersive world. Things feel even more immersive, and the atmosphere is even thicker in what you're playing. You're in the game, in that experience, vicariously even stronger.
What we're going for is realism. Let me even rephrase that. Not even realism, believability. Believability and realism in the sense that we have to be true to the sounds that are really out there in the world. At the same time, we have to at sometimes make them larger than life. Because when you're playing a video game, it's a little different than actually being out there, being shot at, right? So there's a lot of adrenaline out there. So audio plays a big part in pumping up that adrenaline, get the emotion going.
So we've talked about it, but here at Sledgehammer, everybody is considered a game maker, and we encourage ideas. We encourage everybody to come up with something that just adds to the value of the game. And you know, whether you're an engineer or an artist, we don't care. You're a game maker. We expect you to give your best input, and it goes back to sort of our commitment to excellence and stuff that we've learned over the years and how we ourselves want to be treated. You know, I want people to respect the fact that I have a family that I am a game maker, and that's the way we treat people, the way we want to be treated ourselves. And that goes back to the heart of the culture here at Sledgehammer.